Oh my gosh. How long has it been since I've seen you? It had to have been like spring, right? Oh my gosh, and now it's almost a new year. How time flies, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm so excited to work on your hair today. I was just telling your mother, I saw her recently. Yeah, you know, I bump into her all the time. And I was like, when is your daughter gonna come back and get her hair trimmed? Because, you know, I did it last time. I thought it was really nice. I can see it's grown out wonderfully. Quite a bit, actually. Yeah, turn around, let me see. Oh my gosh. Your hair's almost down to your butt. Yeah, we could take off a couple inches. You just want to trim. Just a little. I mean, I'm afraid you're going to get caught in something. You know, I hope you don't operate any heavy machinery, okay? That's all I'm saying, because you're going to be twirling around, okay? Like a little top. Listen, it's your business, not mine. But I'll do what you ask, okay? Let me see this. Let me look at this. Look at... It's so long already out of here. Isn't this crazy? Let me see. Well, your hair looks very nice. I will say it's a little bit... Are you ironing your hair a lot? Yeah, on the board? You know that's really bad for your hair. Listen, I understand. You're young, you want to be free and fashionable. I understand. But as someone who does hair, I have to tell you, we have to work on this. Listen, it's okay. I have things. We can do things with it, okay? Get some oil on it. Make it nice and good, okay? Let me see. You don't want me to wash it today? Okay. You got places to be, people to see. You know, I understand that very well. Very well. You know what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna use, this is something I was using recently. This is good for hair growth, but also just to keep your hair nice and, you know, this one is good because, let me see, actually, you know, I'll do an oil first. Let me see. You want it to be long. You want more hair, more growth. Okay. Then I'll use this first. Okay. This is for hair growth, and I'm going to put it in your roots. Okay. And this you can leave in. You don't need to brush it out. You don't need to wash it out. And then on your ends, I'll use some oil. You know, I've used coconut oil. Olive oil smells a little bit too much. I don't like that very much. But I recently got this is carrot oil. Very exciting, very orange. Your hair's kind of red like mine. I'm sure it'll work just fine. All right. I'm just gonna get some of this in my hands, okay? I'm just gonna massage it in. I'm gonna massage it into your scalp, okay? Doesn't that feel good? I always love a good head massage. Some more of that there. Just a little bit more. You're supposed to do it for like 5 minutes or something. But between you and me, I don't know if anyone's got that kind of time. I know you said you wanted it to be kind of quick, and well, I don't want you to be here all day. You know, I'm very precise with my haircuts, you know. Anyways, I'll do a little bit more for you up here. Okay, and then I'll just put some of this oil into the tips of your hair just to kind of help that. And that sort of helps like breakage too if you ever have a lot of oil. Let me see. Okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit of this in my hand and I'm gonna rub it on your roots, okay? Just a little bit because, you know, I don't want it to be so much that you go out here looking crazy, you understand? Okay. Perfect. All right. sit for just a second, okay? But let me see. So you've been good, yes? New year of school, how's it been? Good, good. You're thinking about changing your major. That's very exciting. What are you thinking? Philosophy? You understand that's not going to make you a single dime in this whole world. Listen, I'm being judgmental. Listen, a lot of people, they doubt your dreams, okay? My mother never thought I could open up a salon, and here I am. So, I should be reflecting on that. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm just saying, it may not be the most useful sort of study, but hey, someone's got to be the thinker. Someone's got to think, okay? And if it's not everyone else, as it seems, it's got to be you, okay? Listen, that's all I got to say. When I was, you sit here and you're in your sort of little bubble. You don't realize how much everyone else is an idiot. Saw that when we voted last year. Don't know what happened there. 1968, the year everyone lost their minds. Anyways, but listen, I'm glad that you're out here thinking for yourself. I'm very happy for you. I don't know where you're gonna work. I guess, yeah, you could write a book. That'd be great. If you wrote a book, I'd buy the book. You would just tell me. When you write a book, just let me know, okay? I'll go out and I'll buy it. You let me know. Yeah? Let me just brush this through. Got my big brush here. Isn't this fun? Big brush. Okay. Yeah, I've been doing good. Just fine, actually. I told you about my daughter. She's out in a world of her own. Let me tell you something about that. She's just out here. She told you she went to that big music festival. I thought she was going to die. She was fine. A couple people did die. Not everyone was talking about that. I was very scared. But she was fine, She's got a good way. She's got a good way of surviving. She's very much like me in that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Brush through this. But yeah, she was good. Everyone was good. She's back now. She was going around. She was trying to follow some bands. I was like, I don't know. Listen. And she's telling me some other girls, they get money from their parents. I said, first of all, I own a salon. I don't know what you want from me. Second of all, I'm not going to give you some money so that some, weird man with long hair can ignore you at a concert. Not that they ever would, because she's gorgeous, but you know what I'm saying. They got tens of thousands of girls around there. You understand. Anyways, she's got big dreams or whatever, but she's walking around, doing her thing, and I appreciate a free spirit. I'd say I was quite a free spirit back in the day, and I'd like to think that I still am now, at times, I'm not that old, I look more closer to you than my mother did at my age now, let me tell you that. But listen, she's out there, and if you see, maybe you got crazy dreams, but at least you gotta write your book, okay? I need her to do something. Anyways, but I love her very much. It was great. She was back for Christmas, and we had a very wonderful holiday. She got into a huge argument with my mother, and I told her, sometimes with older people, you just gotta let them do their thing. Do you understand? This is a woman who was born 2 years before the dawn of the century, this century, okay? She's from an olden time. Not that she's, a bad person or anything, but she just my daughter was trying to explain to her how they're using computers to make music now. This is a woman who existed before sliced bread, okay? Don't give her that. She's sitting here getting all confused, thinking that the robots are going to take over. And I'm like, Mom, it's not. They just make boop, boop, boop sounds, okay? It's not too crazy, but of course it's very crazy to her. So she was very confused. Anyways, but yeah, my daughter was very excited. I got her some records that she likes. I got myself some records that I like, personally. But she was, she's very much into, I don't know if she likes, what did I go to the record store and ask for? She really wanted this one MC5, and someone else she saw at the big concert, Joe Cocker, and she likes Led Zeppelin. Everyone her age now seems to like them. I don't mind it. I just don't like when it gets too long and they start playing for too long and it's like someone should have told you to stop this song about 4 minutes ago. I don't know. Listen, I call me old-fashioned, but I think that there's a real art to making a song that doesn't have any wasted time, okay? You get right into it, you do what you gotta do, and the song's over. Not that I'm not against, a longer song. I like jazz, I like some longer things, but, and maybe this is just me saying it, I don't know. If there's nothing playing but the drums, I'm turning it off. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry. Anyways, let me see, brush that through for you. And now, let me just see. I'm just gonna look at this here. You have a nice wave to your hair. Do you like the wave? Okay. Well, listen, let me see. I want it to be, your hair's not too bad, but I want to just get it a little bit damp, trust me, okay? Just not like wet that it's going to dry and it's going to be all frizzy. You have the oil, so it'll be okay. But I just want it to be a little bit more even for me to cut it, okay? Just a couple squirts, okay? Got my little spray bottle. Isn't this cute? It's like a little shell. Oh, hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. Just make sure. I didn't get any of that in your eye, did I? Okay. Alright. So let me just get my little narrow comb. And of course, my handy dandy leopard scissors. Oh, don't mind me. I'm a little hungry, I can't lie, but we've got hair to do first. Get some coffee. Yeah, I've been here all day. And you like to come late. Listen, I'm not against that. Listen, I know you probably only been up for 2 hours, but 5, 6 p.m. I've been here for a long time, you know what I'm saying? But that's okay. It's all good. Let me just get this just combed out for you. What did I drop? Towel or something. Sorry about that. Let me just get this. Okay. I'm just gonna brush it out. And I'm gonna trim off 1/2 inch. I know that you don't want to cut it that much, but you have a little bit of a dead end, okay? So I'm just gonna cut just a little bit of it off, okay? All right. I might have to go a little bit more than that, but I'm not gonna go, if I was cutting it, I would cut off 4 inches, but you don't want that. So I'm just gonna cut off just maybe 1/2, 3/4 of an inch, okay? Listen, your hair's so long you probably won't even notice, okay? Okay. But yeah, that was a holiday. It was very nice, very pleasant. My husband, he could never get mad at my daughter. She's kind of the golden child for him. Well, I mean, obviously he loves both of our kids. No offense to my son, but she can do no wrong. She's daddy's girl. You know how it is. And my son, he's getting to be that age where it's like, he's 14. And you know how they are. It's just, do you want this to be one length or do you still want some of the layers? You want a little bit near the front? Okay. That's what I was doing so far. So I was like, maybe I should confirm. It's nice how it grew out though. That it's like, we could do, whatever we want with these front pieces, okay? Okay. But yeah, all's good with us, I guess. Nothing too much different around here. Except for the rent getting higher. Don't like that, but what can you do? It's a business. I've had a couple girls come and go, which is nice. I mean, I always like to see new faces. I try to look at it positively. Most of the people, they come and they stay here because I'd say I'm a good boss, you know. I'm not too strict about anything. You know, we're closed a lot of the year, which is nice, you know, important holidays and stuff. That's how it is, you know. No one here is working on Christmas, I'll tell you that much. And if you need, you know, pound a cloth, you know, I don't care, you know. People, they kind of manage their own schedules around here, you know. I mean, I give you clients, but if you don't want to work, you know, then people just don't get their haircut, you know. I don't know what to say about it. But, you know, there's a million salons around here, you know. I tell people, I say, you know, obviously you come to us because we're the best, but if you want to get your hair cut a week before Christmas and no one's available, there's only one person to blame, and that's yourself. I'm sorry. Glad that you came a couple days after the holiday, though, because then things start to really chill out, you know what I mean? It's always how it is, you know. People going home, people usually get their haircut before the holidays. They can look extra fabulous for, I don't know, their family or whatever. See, it's nice because you're still young. You still understand that, you know, the people to impress aren't like your old family. It's like, you know, you want to find, you know, someone cute. You want to go out. You want to dance, you know. New Year's Eve is probably more important to you than Christmas. And I don't blame you for that. You know, you're trying to party. I never got people, you know, really doing themselves up before Christmas. It's like, who are you trying to impress? Your grandma? She can hardly see anymore. But that's just how I feel about it. You understand. But anyways, yeah, had a couple girls come, couple girls go. It's how it is, you know. But I always say, you know, if you're going on to greener pastures, who am I to deny you that? You know, I don't want to make anyone feel bad if they're going somewhere else, you know. I just want to make sure I got enough people working here, you know. But I think a lot of people have been more interested in beauty school because I've gotten new people all the time. Although new people are a bit of not a liability, but, you know, they're new. And I don't want to have to oversight anyone, you know. But I try to bring in new people every once in a while because, you know, I know how hard it is when you're starting out. And, you know, if you train someone from the beginning, then you know that they're doing everything right. And also, usually they tend to stick around a little bit longer because they're not just, like, shopping around for someone. You understand. They, you know, they're grateful for what you did. They did for you. Let me get these front pieces, okay? Look at this as well. You sure you don't want me to do any styling for you? I could wet it a little bit more, you know, get it nice and... You just want it with the oil? Okay. Just how it is. It dries, our hair dries beautifully. That's why I knew it wouldn't be a problem if I sprayed it a little. But, okay, I'll get that for you. You know, I'm very nice to you. Most places, they just be like, yeah, but we have to style it. You know, we gotta have it a certain way. But I understand that you young people, you like your hair to be, you know, natural. And then, well, sometimes you iron it, whatever. But you like it to be kind of like, you like that kind of like natural wave to it. You know what I mean? It's not like you want like a big, you know, big style. Although I very much enjoy doing those too. But although some young people, they like big styles too. You know, it just depends. Look at this for you. But yeah, I feel good going into a new year, a couple days. Things have been going good around here. Can't complain. You like my dress? Oh, thank you very much. You know, my daughter helped me pick this out. She was like, you know, it's a little square for me, but, you know, I'm glad to see you in something more youthful, a little more bright. I was like, you know, you don't need to give every compliment with a little bit of a vibe to it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that she liked it. But I like sort of bright things. It keeps me in a, you know, it's sort of like flowery. It's definitely more of a spring dress, but sometimes I like to wear spring clothes in the winter, you know, to kind of combat that overwhelming sense of dread that you feel when it's cold and there's nothing to do. So yeah, I got some new bracelets. Actually, I think I wore this. I was wearing this a lot in the spring, last time I saw you. It's technically a belt, but I see it as a 2-in-1. It's also kind of a necklace, you know. Who's really looking? Yeah, but you know me. Always the same hair. Always the same little short haircut. I've had this, what, 3-4 years now. I've just liked it short. I don't know. I used to do it long. I used to do, you know, big rollers, and I would, you know, really tease it. But it's not even that I'm lazy. I don't know. I feel lighter. I feel younger when my hair's shorter. You know what I mean? You know, when I first cut it short, my husband was initially kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I don't want it. I like your long hair, you know. And I was like, listen, you're not even gonna, like, you're gonna love it. And come back. Short, he can't get enough. I always say, you know, men don't really know what they want. They kind of just like, they're very easily influenced, you know. If someone on TV tells them, you know, women are only pretty if they have long hair, they really internalize that for the rest of their life, and they're like, must find girl with long hair, you know what I mean? Not saying that's what happened to him, but that's how it, you know, that's how it tends to be. They're very, very simple sometimes, you know. But I guess, then again, if my husband is like, I want my hair to be, you know, really long, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Are you going through something? I don't know. It could be fun, though. See, I'm more open-minded. Anyway. Okay. Looks even. All right. We did it. It looks fabulous. And I'm gonna just take your hair here. I'm just gonna kind of look at it, define it a little for you. And you know, I don't want to give you a ton of like hairspray, because obviously you kind of like your hair a little bit loose, but just to prevent it from frizzing, I'm gonna give you just a little bit of spray, okay? Just a little bit. Doesn't it smell nice? I really do like it. That's a nice smell. I'm gonna put some perfume on though, because you know, all I do is all day I smell like perfume, and smell like hairspray. I like to go home and hopefully smell like a little bit better than that. You want a spritz? You sure? Smell it. It's not bad, right? Well, what can I say? You young people, you prefer the smell of natural flowers and, I don't know, sweat. Just kidding. Anyway, well, I think it looks fabulous. Take a look in the mirror. How do we feel? It looks good, and let me show you the back. Looks nice. Okay. I told you I always do it good. Although I'm assuming the way your hair's growing, I won't see you until, I don't know, 1980. I'll see you in 10 years, maybe. It'll be down to your ankles. Well, you know I'm joking with you. I think it looks perfect. Is there anything else you think you need from me? You like it? Okay. Perfect. I'm so happy to hear that. You know what? Next time I see you, listen, next time I see you, hopefully in the next couple of months, okay? If you want to do any sort of color, anything, we could do something a little crazier. How's that sound? Maybe. I understand. You know what we could do? Well, I know you probably don't want to, but, you know, you're a very natural girl. You have a lot of natural beauty. You know, I wouldn't say anything about that, but if you wanted to, I could do your makeup too. Yeah. You know, you forget I went to beauty school. I did the whole shebang, okay? Not just hair. I do nails, I do makeup, I do mostly hair now, but you know, I've done it all. I do it all the time. And you know, that's why I'm so up to date with my look, because, you know, I do read quite a few of the beauty magazines. You know, I'm trying to make sure that I know what everyone likes and that we aren't all stuck in the past, you know what I mean? I know some older people who do makeup, and it's like, you know, you can't just do like, you know, very much into like a red or an orange lipstick. It's like the little girls, they want pink now. They want little baby pink, okay? You know, they don't know how to do any of this. Absolutely not. They've never drawn on a lower lash. I think they pass out. So yeah, whatever you want, okay? Okay. Well, I'm very happy to see you. Good luck. I can't wait to read your book. Okay? Yeah. Well, next time you need anything, you need your nails done, your makeup done, your hair done, you know where to go. Of course. Well, good luck. Good luck with the rest of your year, okay?